Hello, Teaquilters. It's T of Teaquilts, and we're here on Wednesday, July 2nd at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time for 1 hour chat. I'm hoping it just stays an hour because I only got about 50% power on my iPad. So I'm hoping that we make it. Today we're going to do birthday shout outs for the month of July. We're also going to do retreat follow-up, and then also show you what I gave in the retreat loot bags and just some of the gifts that I gave, because I don't even have my own in here, but I'll show you what I do have. And sometimes I didn't get a gift or take a gift for myself. So it won't be a full retreat bounty, but close. Let's cancel this. I'm trying to close all and start this again. It's trying to put me live on here as well. I don't want that. So let me search. Teaquilts. Skip this. All right. And then it turned my screen. I don't know what's going on. Like, why is my screen turned? Right. All right. So, hopefully everybody is having a great day. I'm going to be needing to use my phone here for notes, just so I don't forget something. Let's see, let's close everything on here. Go there. Set. And okay, we got that. And we also got to find the birthday shout outs. Give me a minute. All right, so I think I got everything I need on my phone, hopefully. So let's go ahead and read some chats, see who's in the chat today. We've got Darcy here, says hi T, and all quilters, give T your thumbs up. And if you're new here, subscribe and hit the bell for notifications. Also, check out the Facebook page, Teaquilts LLC. Make sure that you answer those 4 questions so that you can gain admission to that group as well. And then she's wishing everyone a wonderful 4th of July. T. Edwards is here saying evening all, and her rent is paid, which means she has already hit the thumbs up button. If you haven't, go ahead and hit the thumbs up button for me, please. I would really, really appreciate it. I don't know where these crowns are coming from. What is that? I don't know what that is. They gave that to y'all from Facebook? That's cool. I don't know anything about that. That's pretty cool. Let's see. June Hansen is here. Let me go back. It took me to the bottom. Sorry, guys. Oh my goodness. I got to do this again. It took me completely out. All right. I was just trying to scroll back to the top and it just kicked me out. All right, all right. Sue GSD says, good evening, T and fellow quilters from hot St. Louis. No countdown tonight since we don't know when Teaquilts retreat will start. Hopefully you all had a fantastic retreat. And we'll be talking about that in a little bit too. Dee Branson is here saying, hello, T and quilters. What an adventure. It was a great experience for me. My rent is paid. So thank you, thank you. I'm thinking of her. I did mail some packages today. You were one of them. I still have some other packages to mail. I had some orders while I was gone, so I was trying to get those out as well. But I did get some of the boxes mailed today. Donna Branson is here. Holly Duvall. Michelle the Quilter saying she's enjoying the retreat videos. We'll talk about that. C-Rax is here. Jester Creative Space. I can't remember if you won a gift or not Saturday night during the retreat. I did drawings. I'll talk about that later too. Francis Jackson asking, are you well rested yet? I took off yesterday and today. I was really thinking about taking off the rest of the week, but I decided to come on here and do the stuff for retreat and get it out the way. I do have some stuff coming in from Checkers. I got one box that came in. I got another box that's coming in tomorrow, so maybe I'll do a checker haul on Saturday. And then we'll see for the rest of the month what's going on with Teaquilts. Donna Taylor is here, says hi from Oklahoma City. So welcome, Donna Taylor. Sharon Lewis, Janice Miller, Cynthia Shade, Kim R, Zandra Odom, Paula S. Looks like everybody made it home safely. From what I'm aware, I think I've heard from most people. It's just a few people I haven't heard from. Leetta Bryant is here. Diane McCoy. Ingrid Sows It All. Patrice Lane. Claudette Hall. I think I said Brenda Foley earlier. Jumped me down there. It looked like Facebook has got some new icons, y'all. They look cute too. They're giving you crowns and stuff. Benita Nance is here. I don't know why some people have them and some don't. Welcome back, everyone, from retreat. And Katie the Greenland Quilter is here. Deborah Sims Brown is here. Marianne is here. She says it's so fun to put faces to so many names of you fabulous people. Yay. That's one of the fun things about retreat. Will you publish the instructions for the panel quilts that were done on retreat? No, because it's a purchase pattern from Villa Rosa. The pattern is only $2. If you order from my site, it's $2 plus $3 for shipping. And what I do include is the notes that I gave to the participants at retreat. So it can be ordered from my website. I just don't give out free patterns. So, I mean, for purchase patterns for free. Let me correct that. I do give out free patterns. Melina Montoya is here. Cynthia Washington. Cynthia mailed I think I mailed your box today. I can't remember. It's so much going on. Somebody won. 2 people won that wasn't at retreat that I had to mail packages. And I'm hoping I got the correct names because it was some very long days. Hey, Joe Carmel. Talking about sign me up for 2026 retreats. I'm ready to go, laughing out loud. And Now if Facebook would just get rid of that heart, yeah, and it looked like it's getting bigger. But that's all my perception when I'm super tired. But I did lay in bed for 2 days. Basically just got up to eat and take care of personal hygiene. I got up, today was my first day up, and my left foot, which is my worst one, was aching again. So yeah, had that issue. But let's go ahead first and get this out of the way since it's first in the title. Let's go ahead and do July birthdays, because the rest of this is going to be talking about retreat. So we want to make sure we at least get the birthdays out before we lose power here. Let me see if I got this blowed up right. All right. Let me turn it this way. That'll be better. So yesterday was Maddie Barnum's birthday. So happy belated birthday to you, Maddie. Hope you had a great birthday. Also, this is for July birthdays that have been submitted to me. If you didn't submit your birthdays in advance, you can put it in the chat. I'm not going to read it because it's not fair to the people that sent theirs in. And I'm reading them in a list. I'm not going to do a personal shout out. So just know that if you put it into the chat, I won't be reading it. Also, if you want me to give you a birthday shout out, no matter when your birthday is, just send an email to teaquilts@teaquilts.com and let me know when your birthday is, and I'll give you a birthday shout out. On tomorrow is Judy Smith's birthday, July 3rd. And on the 8th of July, we've got Francis Jackson. On the 9th of July, we've got Sandy Agger. On the 17th, we have Minnie Dula. Sheila Willis' birthday is July 18th. Brenda Foley has a birthday coming up on July 20th. On the 24th, we have Leetta Bryant's birthday. And then on the 28th, Laura Kaiser, a local quilter, she's not hardly in the chat, and myself, we're not in the same guild because she doesn't join the guild anymore, but we still communicate on Facebook. We share a birthday of July 28th. And then on the 30th, we have two tea quilters with birthdays, Lenore Baptiste and Tia Shepherd. So happy birthday to all the July babies. And oh, it's not. My sister's birthday is next month. We're both Leos, but her birthday is in August. I was going to share her birthday, but it's too early. So I hope you all enjoy a wonderful birthday month. Enjoy your birthday. I will be 60 this year. So it seems like the years are just flying by. I can't believe it's already been 10 years that I've been retired from my, the job, the other job, not this job. But yeah, so it just seems like the years are just flying by. I can't believe how fast it's going. Let me see. So there, I see cake in here. Let's start retreat with the cake, okay? I made the cake, and in my haste of shopping, having so much to do, and it just seems like for me, this retreat, I had a few things that I always had to backpedal on, and so I wasn't like where I wanted to be at any given point in the retreat. And so I bought supplies for cake, got home, didn't look at none of the packaging or anything. And I'm trying to figure out how come this one over here looks different than this one over here. But I'm like, okay, they must have changed the recipe is what I'm thinking. And so I go ahead and slap all of this stuff in there. And then when I get through, I'm trying to figure out why my cake looked different. And yeah, I go back through the trash. Now I'm digging. I had like a grocery sack. I put all the stuff in as I'm making. So it wasn't like I was in the trash can, but I was in my trash bag. And I go back and start reading all the containers, looking at expiration dates and all of this stuff. And it took me like going over it twice to realize that I had put the wrong thing in the cake. And I was so mad at myself because not only did I make the double batter that I normally make, I also made an extra bun pan cake to make sure we had enough cake for 41 people. And my first instincts, I was so mad at myself, was to just trash it, put it in the trash. So, so yeah, I let it sit. I just covered it up and let it sit and said, I'll deal with that later, because the next thing that happened, we go pick up the trailer the day before retreat, and the trailer is not available. It's been given to somebody else and they don't have any. It was 6 o'clock. Places are closing because we started calling places. They're closing. I think it was at 7. I can't remember. And nobody, the 4 that we called, we couldn't get a trailer. So we had nothing to move all of this stuff that I have, sewing machines and everything. I have nothing to move this stuff to retreat in. And my daughter was saying, we can wait because at that point, I think Home Depot was closed. I don't know. It must have been going on 8 o'clock or something. I don't know what time Home Depot closed. I just know I was in panic mode, okay? And wanting to wait until 6 o'clock the morning of retreat to see if we could rent something from Home Depot instead. And it was like, I can't wait till 6 o'clock in the morning because I'm not going to get any sleep if I do that. So we ended up stuffing our 3 SUVs as much as we could. This retreat, I was glad that I was closer to my home because I was about 15 minutes from home. The other one where we have at Mercy is about, 40 to 45 minutes from my home. I made so many trips home that it was absolutely ridiculous because I had to keep picking stuff up while Steffi was picking people up from the airport. I sent Kevin to do my one pickup because I was busy running back and forth from home to get the things that we couldn't get. Like all the sewing machines couldn't fit because we can't stack them, So I was going home to get, as many machines as I could get and things that I had left. It was a lot of things that never made it to retreat, which is fine. It was, I was trying to bring some things back once I was done with them, but at the start I was bringing nothing back because nothing had been used. So I had to reschedule the bus trip. It seemed like it was something else. So when I rescheduled the bus trip, I had to go back and redo the whole trip, resubmit it through, even though they knew the dates and all of that. I had to inform, I had 3 people that also joined our bus shop hop trip, so I had to let them know as well. I was supposed to go to Gill meeting that Thursday. I ended up getting a migraine, so I couldn't go to Gill to tell them. So then I had, my emails work sometimes they don't, so I was just praying the emails work. So it was just a lot with this particular retreat. Oh, we had 1 quilt shop. We had 4 quilt shops originally scheduled for the bus trip. That's why it was rescheduled. And one of the shops actually closed early this month, like early in the month of June. It actually closed impromptu. And so, yeah, it was just a lot going on. And so I just felt like this retreat, I was backpedaling from the get-go. So having hot weather did not help. So we're out here, we're at about 96, 97 degrees on Tuesday trying to move all of this stuff in. I was grateful that my niece let me use her sons to help me move this stuff in. They get stuff in pretty fast, but it wasn't necessarily in the right place it needed to go. Because it was just so much going on and I didn't want to be holding them up. It was just like, get the stuff in, I'll figure it out later. So, yeah. I only sold, I didn't even have a machine set up. I actually had somebody else sewing on my Bernina because I couldn't find my brother at the last minute. I didn't realize I didn't have the brother foot pedal in the bag that I had made. So I don't know where my brother foot pedal is. I have not officially looked for it. But as I'm putting stuff away, hopefully it'll show up somewhere. So I ended up having somebody sewing on my Bernina. So I didn't even have a machine. But when that person went to sleep one night, I just stayed up till like 5. And I was able to finish the retreat project. That must have been Thursday night because I was using my project as a sample as well. So yeah. I think about day 3, maybe Thursday, I decided to finally bring the cake because Kevin has convinced me to bring the cake. And he goes, we're going to let Sharon taste the cake. If Sharon says we can serve the cake, then we can serve the cake. Otherwise, we'll trash it then. So I bring the cake on day number 3, and Sharon ended up saying it was okay to serve. It just was not the same cake. So, you know, those kind of things happen. I didn't have time to rebake a cake. I was hoping that I did, but I did not. I was hoping on one of those trips home I could have baked a cake and redone it, but I did not, and I could not. So I did what I could, and that's the best that I can do. So, who didn't know there was a cake? Let me see who don't know it was a cake. I took one cake down to the other end, and then they must be talking about the birthday cake that my daughter also brought doing the live chat. Her and Jersey brought in a birthday cake celebrating early. So yeah. I'm just going down to the bottom. And Deborah says she was happy with the cake, and Ingrid says the cake was delicious. But it was just a different cake. It wasn't that cake, the cake that I normally make. And I really apologize for that. It was just, I don't know what the heck I was doing. I was just picking up stuff, thinking I'm reading the labels right. I guess I was already tired when I was shopping because I didn't even shop for cake ingredients until Saturday. I actually made the cake Sunday. So, yeah. So, sorry about that. So, again, I want to thank everybody that attended the Teaquilts retreat. I really appreciate what it takes for people to attend an out-of-state retreat for them. Even my local people, they don't have to attend either. And so, I really appreciate that. The one thing that did happen, and I'm very upfront, this is the first time that has happened to me at any retreat, even as an attendee, is that we had a thunderstorm on Friday, and we were out shop hopping, and I didn't pay any attention to, the consequences or whatever of a power outage. And we're just shop hopping all day. We done went and had Pappy's barbecue. Everybody is happy. We're going back to the facility. We enter into the facility. They got the doors propped open so that we can get in because the doors are on a keypad system, and she had to let us in. And so she was telling us as we were coming in that the power was out. And I said, asking how long had the power been out. She says about 1:30. And so what can you do? You go in. We've got bags, got people behind us. We're coming in. We probably had, I don't know, about 5 or 6 cars shop hopping. Went to 3 shops and went to eat barbecue. So we all come in, and I'm thinking in my head, it'll probably be up. When it went out, the administration was there, and I'm thinking that power will come back on. Well, no power came back on. It was, I was expecting it to be back on like 5:30, 6 o'clock or something like that. But when it got to that, I then go back and I asked the lady if anybody in management, if she knew if they had called or anything. Of course, the lady didn't know anything because nobody had related anything to her. So I called this emergency number that they have, just trying to solicit information before it got too late. And nobody ever returned a phone call on that either. Some things that I will say that I wasn't aware of and that I should have done further is that I should have looked at room assignments when I saw that lady, and I should have looked to see who was on the 3rd floor, because we had to then take the stairs up, and they did put like camp lights in the stairway There was no emergency lighting. They only had generators that kind of it was like a brownout instead of a blackout. So we had some lights, but not all the switches worked, not all the power worked. It would run, the power that did work would run some things, but not run other things. So it was kind of weird how it worked. I didn't see any red power sources. I know when I worked for the state, we had red stuff that you can use in case of an emergency. So I didn't see any of that. And I wish I had looked at our room assignments, because in hindsight, I found out that one of the ladies who has just very slight mobility issues, I'm not going to say, she didn't put anything on her form, but when you got to walk 3 flights of stairs, and I don't know her age, but she's a elderly lady, and she had to walk up 2 flights of stairs, and I was not really happy about that. If I had thought to look, I would have tried to see if they could have found her a room on the 2nd floor instead. But that's in hindsight. I didn't think about that. I didn't look at the schedule. I was trying to figure out how to get lights back on, how people are going to try to keep cool. The good thing was that the sun did go down in the building. It was cooler at night. We were able to open up some windows. I can't remember. I'm assuming that they had screens on them, because I don't remember any bugs per se, like flies or anything. So I'm going to assume that they had screens on them. I never opened the windows. Other people did that. So it was just inconvenient. That's all. And the other thing is that when you're at a retreat center, other people should not be harassing or asking the staff for more information. I was trying to deliver the information that I had, which was no information other than the management was aware and that they had called Ameren, which is our utility company here. And if 40 other people were also asking them, it gets to be a little irritating. So the reason why there is no sign up for a retreat, number one reason is because I haven't gotten any prices yet for 2026 retreat. And number two, I'm still going to probably go ahead and open it up anyway and just do some estimated prices and let people know it's estimated, because I don't know why we don't have any prices yet for next year. This is so weird to me. Normally it comes out in January for the next year. So I'm confused as to why we don't have any retreat prices. And then number two is because I'm going to be developing some rules. And if any of the rules are broken, you will be asked to leave retreat without a refund. And you will also, and if you decide you don't want to do that, then I'll, solicit some help to help you do that. And that's because I feel like I do a lot for Teaquilts retreat. I rent out entire buildings, and I'm paying for the rental of these buildings. They're not cheap. Yes, you all pay your retreat, but I'm dealing with all the details. I'm one person dealing with everybody that is attending retreat. And for you to disrespect me and or to disrespect the facility rules, I'm not having it. And it was just the reason why I was not acknowledging all the shenanigans that were going on is because I was tired, I was hot, I was drained. And if I would have approached you, it wouldn't have been pretty. And so I just kept myself professional, because everybody would have wondered what happened, what was wrong with me if I would have responded when I was tired and hot and had been drained. I had never sat in heat like what I sat in at this retreat. The electric didn't come back on until like 1 o'clock the next day. I was in the process of trying to set up hotels with Drury Hotels. The only thing they had available at short notice was Pear Tree Inn out by the airport. So I was in the process of setting that up and getting prices and just about to start booking people in the rooms when Ameren walks into the door. So I had a lot going on trying to figure things out, because I knew I wasn't going to have my one lady go back up on the 3rd floor again, number one. Number two, I just didn't want anybody else sitting in heat again. The only downside to that was that if we went to the hotel, we weren't going to have anywhere to sew anyway. So once we got partial AC working, because they got the AC working for our bedroom, so then it was decided that we would stay there. I'm talking with facility management at this point, because they can go to their rooms, which is the same thing as if we're in a hotel, then you can go to your room. The rooms on the bottom floor, it took them a little bit, on the first floor, on the ground floor, it took them a little more tweaking and working and calling in some other people to get the 2 rooms done, but they could never get the cafeteria where we met and where we ate. They could never get that part heated, AC, the cooling. So they could never get the system working in there. So we still had one area that was not functioning correctly, but the people decided that, well, they wanted to sew because they could have went to their rooms, but most everybody stayed down and sewed after that. So, it was very frustrating. I was really disappointed. Not that the system went out in management. What I was disappointed with was that it took management to about, 10:30, 11 o'clock to get there to even say anything to us. The only reason Amarin showed up is because my friend Mary, who I hired to do audio-visual specialist, she ended up calling Amarin and expressing that people had machines and that people were over here dying from the heat. And Amarin then shows up. I did have one person that had to go home because she had medical equipment that had to be hooked up. So she was local, thank God. So she did go home Friday night, and she came back Saturday afternoon once the power, I called her and let her know when the power came back on, and then she came back. So it was a little bit frustrating. And I will say that the facility stepped up. They stepped up. They provided Ted Drew's, which I wish, if I would have known that they were going to get it from the local grocer, I would have offered to go get it from Ted Drew's myself, because they would put it on dry ice. But they went to the grocery store and bought it. Ted Drew's tastes totally different once you freeze it. And then they also had Old Town Donuts for us for breakfast the next morning on Sunday when we were leaving. So they tried to make as many amends as they could. I have not heard anything back from them, from people who, they were saying that they were going to refund some of the money. And so I haven't heard anything back from them, but I also have not heard anything from them billing me, because I still had one final bill that I needed to pay before all the power outage went out. And I fully understand that it's not their problem or fault that the lights went out. My concern was how management handled it. I wasn't personally myself looking for any type of refund, but if they do refunds, I would definitely let the people that attended retreat know. If you want a refund, you let me know. I've already heard from some that are saying they don't want any refund, and I will figure out some kind of way of just donating it back, because this facility apparently needs some money, because they need some systems in place. And I'm trying to wait until I hear from them before I go to their board. And I think in situations like this, you need to have standard operating procedures in place, and then ways that you communicate to all staff, because the staff that came on to duty Saturday morning had no idea that the lights were even off, or that we were in a brownout per se. So they need some tips, and I'm just going to send it to the board, because then it's more than one person having it for it to just be tossed into the trash. So that's one thing that I am going to do, but I'm trying to wait to see until we settle out our final bill to see if they're charging me full or if they're going to do a reduction. I need to know that, because if we're going to do a reduction, they owe me probably, but if they're not doing what they said, then I probably owe them something. So we'll see what they come up with. Trying to make sure I've covered everything that I wanted to cover on here. If anybody got any questions, you're more than welcome to ask. Again, the reason why retreat sign up isn't out, 2 reasons, is because I don't know the price. And I hate putting stuff out without a price. But I may have to end up doing that so that I can start getting you all to make payment plans, because the retreat center is going to start wanting 25% down, and I have zero money down at this point. So I'm probably just going to do where I'm going to do 250. So be prepared to pay 250 for your first retreat payments in order to be registered, because I'm going to need money. Normally I do $100. It'd be a year and a half out, and then I start the year before having you pay 250. So we're going to have to do something a little bit different here because of the way that the facility is giving me information. I just don't know how I'm supposed to sign and register a group if I don't even know what the price is. Because I have to also add all the other incidental fees that go with that, plus the people who are teaching and part of the retreat committee and stuff like that. So, I can only do so much to make sure that you have a wonderful retreat. And I try to do everything that's in my control to make sure that you have a wonderful retreat. And this one was just out of my control. The other thing with this retreat center, I will say, is that we were in 2 rooms at opposite ends of the hall. It was not a long hall. It wasn't like a long walk like what we have at Mercy, but we were at opposite ends of the hall, and it was a little difficult for teaching. So we had to meet in the gym, which was the cafeteria. We had a place where we eat in the front, and then we met in the back. And we had to meet and kind of go through all the steps of everything that we were teaching, which normally when you're in a room with everybody, you just teach a step or two, and then people go do it, and then they come back, and then you continue to teach the steps. So it was a little difficult for people to do that. Also, I assume more people would know how to square up, and so a lot of people refused to even cut. They wanted one-on-one cutting, and that took all day, and that was not part of the teaching plan, was for you to wait in line to get your panels cut. We assumed that people would listen to what we said and then go back and do it, and it was like everybody wanted one-on-one assistance. So I did look at the surveys, and I think that was on a couple of the surveys where people were saying that they didn't expect that project to take that long. Well, neither did we, because I made that quilt top before we got to a retreat, and then I also made the other one at retreat from the samples that I had already had, and it did not take me that long. And I think it was just because people were wanting to be watched as they got cut. So I don't know what the solution is to that. If everybody is refusing to cut, that's kind of out of the instructor's hands. I mean, we can't go off and just say, you need to cut. We're here to provide a service, and that's what we did. If that's what people wanted, was how to learn how to square up a panel, then that's what we gave, because that's all we had time to do, because that's what people were waiting for. So we had personal attention was given to everybody that personal attention was given to everybody that requested it. Now, some people didn't do it, so they probably didn't care whatsoever, and so that's a good thing too. So everybody didn't work on the project. So it's just, it is what it is. I can't help what happened on the teaching parts, because we were in 2 rooms, and really Jason and Jennifer were your instructors, but I was the one who I was trying to be the assistant in the other room. And so, yeah, I mean, that's just basically, it is what it is at that point. And I'm real sorry that it had to go that way, but we taught the information. I think it was some low points for that, because we taught all the information at one point. But you also, on Villa Rosa, you had the pattern instructions, and I also gave you details, but people would not read. They wanted to be with you while they did it. So, I don't know what we were supposed to do at that point. So we did the best that we could under the circumstances. That's all I can say. So I'm going to go through and talk about the loot bag next. if I see some people like Remo saying no refund for me, if you don't want a refund, just send it to me in an email, because I'm not probably going to have time to go through the chat because I got to get through this stuff. I only got 20 minutes. And I'm hoping that I don't know how much time I got, but if it pops up, I'll let you all know. But they got a red Teaquilts bag. This bag is great for like taking light stuff, chips, bread, stuff like that. If you put anything heavy in it, I find that it comes loose on this little binding part. So I use this as the loot bag. And then inside that, this was my 2025 bag. They got this bag. I like this a lot better. It's a different texture. It has an outside pocket. And then also, that's it. It just has an outside pocket. I thought it had one inside, but it doesn't. But it's a really pretty bag. So this was the bag that I recommended that they use for shop hopping. This is from Butler. It was a notepad with a pen. This is, let me get this part. This is the Smith's Pocket Needle Guide. So if you're going on retreats or something, you can put this in your bag. I always try to keep something packed so when I go places to sew, I'll have what I need. And then they also have this one up here. I just ordered these from Checkers. Smith's did not really donate to the retreat. I just ordered them from Checker. They probably charged me some nominal fee for this. And then I also gave everybody one big clip and then 7 small clips. I just put them on here so they'd be easier for me to pull up. I gave them a needle inserter and brush. They also got a matching pen set. It could have been blue, and it also had a light peachy one, but they matched. One is a gel pen and the other is an ink pen with, and both of them have a stylus on the ends. So they got a matching set. They got these little scissors that have a little, they come off. I must have mine all tangled up. But the cap comes off and they're like little snips, and it's spring loaded. So I like that. This is called the Multi-Purpose Scissors by So Sweet. It was so funny because I was standing with one of the tea quilters in one of the shops and they had them up there for sale. This is a seam ripper that just has a little cute thing on here so you can put it on something. I thought it was really cute. So you had a seam ripper. I purchased all of this stuff from Checker, including the nail files, gave those out. And this is a little pull thing. You can put it on your badge, but a lot of us use it to put our scissors on, and then you can have your scissors clipped to you. It's like this little silver thing will slip on the top of your shirt, and then you can just pull your scissors down as you need them. Everybody got some straight pins. Also got a, hold on, not that. Okay, I don't see it in mine. We got lapel pins. That was a sewing machine. Here it is. It went under the bottom of the stabilizer. And then I just dropped that. So we got these little sewing machine pins. May Chappelle gave us a sticker. She also donated like 2 patterns that I put somewhere, either in the free or Notions. I don't know where it went. Paula donated these little cord minders for your devices. Has a little slit so you can put the ends out through the slits, and then you can wrap your cords in here. This little thing everybody talking about, it was a sperm or something. But it is a reusable zip tie that you can also use as a cord minder. And then I gave out 3 of these. Are they still in here? Some of the stuff is so tiny. And I'm missing the brush. So there was a brush, like a eyelash brush, and then this brush here is another makeup item, and then this little dot one. We use these to clean out our machines. One mechanical pencil because on our project we needed to draw lines. And then this is a generic version of that purple thing. I had some that I had in the order, and then Annette also donated some at retreat, and so I put them out on the table for people to pick up if they wanted some of the stuff. Also, I kept some so that we'll have them for the next retreat, hopefully, if I remember where they are, because I got to unpack all this stuff. So this is the basic loot bag. Could be missing an item or two, I don't know. But that's the basic loot bag that was given at retreat. And then I'm going to put this bag here. I'm missing, like, I gave out prizes almost at every meal. I think I gave a prize at every meal that we were at the facility. So there is no almost. I did. And I don't have them all in here. But, so we'll start with this. Miss Vivian donated handmade soap to everyone. So one of the meals you got handmade soap. There was another meal where I gave out fat quarters that I got from Jackman's. I don't have that because I didn't pick one for myself because I had a whole bag and I had extra. So I got the extra bag. So I didn't put that in my bag. Donette Branson donated yardage of African fabrics. I showed you all in a haul. I gave out a fat quarter to everybody. And then I'm going to use some more of them in the next retreat. So they'll be coming back because I thought I was going to get some fat quarter bundles made and I just didn't get that far. So I've used half of the fabric and I still have half the fabric left. One of the meals I ended up giving I made all of these myself and I gave this to everybody. It's a Kleenex thing. If you notice, the Kleenex are now doing those round things or they open the other way. I just re-sliced mine back this way so that I can still get my Kleenex out of here and do that. Another thing that I made that isn't here is that I showed y'all once and I stopped showing them because I was making them for everybody at retreat and I didn't want anybody to keep asking me about it, but I made a little mini zipper pouches. And I know I don't have one here because the extras is packed up. I haven't unpacked everything, of course. And so I don't have it here to show you, but I made one for everyone, all 41 by myself. And then we also made these little baskets that's right here as well. But this is how the baskets look. And you can, when it's filled, you can put like a pen or whatever you want in here in these little openings as well. But we gave this to everybody. I provided the layer cakes. I think I needed 3 layer cakes to make enough for everybody. But Jennifer, Kevin, and I divided them equally and we made these for retreats as gifts. And I want to say that's it. But, oh, that's not it. One of the gifts was batting sample cards. I paid for one, and then, where is that at? I paid for one, and then one was given to me. I thought I had it in here. I see a small one. And let me see. I thought I had it this way. Trying not to hit this mic too much, y'all. This is Warm Hops Heirloom. This is it. I'm thinking it's small. Okay, so Quilter's Dream donated theirs to us. They were really nice. I talked to them at the H&H show, and I actually bought some of they got a new thicker cotton that's not on these cards. So they sent us these that were already prepped before that batting was made. So I didn't have to pay for those. They sent them to me free of charge. And then Hobbs, I just went to Checkers and I actually bought these. They didn't send them to me for free. So I decided I would go ahead and order it because a lot of people use Hobbs batting. So I just feel like sometimes people are asking about particular bats. You don't know what they are, what they feel like. So I did this. I tried to also get one from Warm and Natural. I got one at the H&H show, but I never received the package with the batting. However, Warm and Natural did send some batting. So we had a project that needed batting. And I purchased what we were short of, and then I used what Warm and Natural sent for the kits. And then I just made the kits basically at a retail price instead of trying to make any money off of it. I just used what I spent to in those kits. So I'll show you that project in a minute, although I didn't do it. All right. So I'm sure that there were some other gifts or something given that I'm missing, but I'll just be missing it because I didn't get a lot of stuff. Like one gift was a Notions. I didn't get a Notion, but I did get a jelly roll when it came time to getting a fabric. There were a lot of you that donated kits and stuff, jelly rolls. Oh, that went over very well. So they enjoyed that. I give them like about half hour before we start drawing. They get a chance to walk around the table and look and see what's on there so they can have an idea of what they want, so that they're not holding up the line as we're doing the drawing. So that was very fun to see what people were picking. So that's that bag. We're going to do gifts now. And I'll do this gift first. This is the iron caddy that we made that we used the batting in, that I used the Warm and Natural batting in. And then you have the silver lining fabric. I also purchased that for those that purchased the kit and got that. So I just haven't put an iron in here. This was Jennifer's sample that she used, and she ended up donating this to the Teaquilts LLC so that I can have another carrier for the iron. I only had one, and I thought I was going to make another one, and I just didn't get a chance. I just sewed one time from like 1 a.m. to about 4 a.m. That's all the sewing I did at retreat. So that was a gift. Other things that was a gift. This bag, even though I gave bags out like this, Remo and I want to say Carla, if I'm not mistaken, Remo and Carla gave me this bag, and they bought it at the Sewing Studio, which was our second quilt shop. And then I came past them and they were looking at various different things, but when I saw them again, they were looking at Tula Pink stuff, and I said, oh, that's a pretty Tula Pink. And so they ended up getting me, it's 2 pieces here, guys. They ended up getting this fabric that I said was pretty. So this is from, if I'm not mistaken, she says yes, it was from her and Carla. So thank you, ladies. I did not open this up. This is a lot of yardage. Boy, you tell them girls you like something. Ooh-wee. This is probably almost 3 yards here. So probably a total of 3.5 to 4 yards of this fabric. So maybe I can use this as a border on my final quilt. We'll see if this will work. I have to see what else I've already put in there. I think this was Marianne and Ingrid. Went around with the RX for quilters using the Skittles colors. Green, take one if the bobbin runs out. Red, if it's day 3 of a 2-day project. Yellow, if your points don't match. Orange, if the rotary cutter slips. And purple, if the shop's out of that print. And they put them into these medicine type containers, but they got Skittles in here. And then they also gave you a package of Skittles that wasn't in here, so you had a refill as well. So I thought that was really cute. Oh, just Ingrid. Marianne says just Ingrid. I wasn't there when this got dropped off, so it was a surprise when I came back. It was sitting in my spot, and I thought it was both. But thank you, Marianne. She says it was just Ingrid. Phyllis says she loves the Iron Caddy, beautiful teal fabric. This here was from Thomasine. She brought this fabric. It's quite a bit of yardage. It's a tilde print called Me and My Friend Sand. It's the sand color. Let me just open it up a little bit so you can see some of it. Thought it was really pretty. I like it that it's spaced apart, that if you wanted to fussy cut, and then you've got 2 different sizes as well. So I like that as well. I'm thinking about making Millie's dresses. So maybe this is something that can go on the back of Millie's dresses too. I got the patterns ordered. They should be here tomorrow. If you've been on Facebook, you know what I'm talking about. Joe Carmel posted where she did Millie's dresses in African prints, and it was just so pretty. Then I'm like, I'm going to make that. You know, I don't follow a whole lot of Lori Holtz and Fat Quarter Shop stuff. This one here is from Sharon. We went to a store. I'm hoping this is where she got it, where all the fabric was not for the sale for us coming was $9 per yard, or on that day they extend their sale. They have bags that you get. Let me show you. Oh, so personal. They have bags. You spend, I think, over $100, you get this bag. And then they have bag days where you bring the bag back, and they have sales. Well, she knows that we have a lot of out-of-towners and they're not going to have the bag. So she extends whatever sale she's having for them to the quilters. And so Sharon bought this beautiful grunge fabric for me in red, my favorite color. And it looks like it's probably 2 yards. So thank you, Sharon. Thank you, thank you. And oh, one last thing. Let me put all of this stuff back so I know where it's at. This goes in here along with this. All right. We also exchanged signature blocks, those that wanted to participate or was able to make them, because remember the power was out for over 24 hours. So nobody could sew. So some people weren't able to get their signature blocks made. That's a hint for people coming next year to get your signature blocks done before you come to retreat. You just never know. You may not even have enough time, even if it isn't a power outage. So this here is a bag that was made by Claudette Bettis. And it has mesh, see-through mesh. So it could be like a beach bag if you want, or a wet bag if you want. It also has, let me take that out first. It has slit pockets, so all the dividers are pockets on both sides. So there's 6 pockets outside. But not only that, there's also 6 pockets on the inside as well. So it's got 12 pockets on here. So that was cool. Got a snap up at the top. And then also this one here is a zippered pouch. So very nice. Thought that was pretty nice of her to make that. She makes something just about every time I see her. I want to say every time, but I don't want her to feel obligated that she's got to do that. But very nice, and her workmanship is just awesome. I asked her if she sells her stuff in a boutique. She says no. Claudette's quiet, but mighty powerful seamstress. So now I'm going to show you what I got from, it's 8 o'clock, y'all. I'm going to show you what I got from Shop Hopping. So we went, this is the local Shop Hop. They gave us this bag, whether you bought anything or not. They all had some kind of pattern, and they are weird patterns, I will have to say that. But I because I'm not going to use it. It'll be on the free table next year. This was from the Quilted Cow. So you got to remember the original Quilted Cows in a rural area, stuff like that. So they are going to have things that are more country-ish. And it's just not for me. They also had this packet that had a piece of fat quarter in it with a Jolly Rancher, and then information about the Quilted Cow, which is now a franchise business. They have different Quilted Cows around the world. This Quilted Cow was in St. Peters, Missouri. And then this right here, I'm not going to take it out. I'll just show you the fabric and tell you what it is. But their patterns that they make are called the Helpful Heifer. That's very hard to say. The Helpful Heifer. And this right here is the Wicked Easy Key Fob. Everything you need for one fob. So this is from one of their patterns, and it's in here. They gave that for free. And I think that was it. And then what I purchased from them, this was $110. They gave us 15% off. So with tax, I ended up spending $101. I thought this would look really pretty, that my mom, who loves florals, that this would be really pretty for her. And it was funny because I was just talking to her today, and I thought she had stole another family member's quilts because she's really good with that. And she told me that that quilt was hers, and it was hers. I had given it to her for her 68th birthday. So 18 years ago, she got that quilt. So I do plan to work on this so that I can give my mom an updated quilt. So she'll have that. So I bought that for her. This was at Also Personal. Ended up spending a lot of money in there that I didn't intend to spend because the fabric was all $9 per yard. So I ended up spending $127 in Also Personal. And I'll show you what I got. They had a particular rack of patterns, was buy one, get one free. I'm just hoping that they rung all this stuff up because you don't have an itemized bill. Or I don't think. Yeah, I think it's right. Well, they got, I don't know. They got 10 instead of 9 on one of them. 12 at 9. Okay, so yeah, it's rung up right. I just spent some money. That's all. So you ended up buying one pattern at whatever the highest price. They both were 10. And they put one at 9 because this one didn't have a price on it. I really wanted to do this one. And so I just got that one. It's a GE design. So I just say, okay, I can see how they do that. This is a brush fabric from Wilmington. Kind of reminds you a little bit of grunge, but it's not grunge. So I got probably 2 yards. I don't know. When I got through, I had 12 yards at $9. I got some black grunge. I got a pinkish red grunge. No, this is brush. This is not grunge. This is that brush from Wilmington again. This is a blue grunge. Blue grunge. And then I got one more teal grunge. Either 1 or 2 yards. When I got through, this whole stack was 12 yards when I get through. So I don't know what I got at each. And then this last, well, I got 2 more pieces. I know these are a yard. I saw this beautiful print here. I couldn't remember if I had this one before. So I said, just in case, at $9, I can always buy a yard and use it for binding on some colorful quilts. And then this same piece here. All came from Also Personal. This was all part of the 12 yards in this stack here. So all of this was in the 12 yards. So I don't know how much I got at each, but it totaled up to 12 yards right here in 2 patterns. Then they also gave us, on top of giving us everything in the store that's cut off the bolt, 45, not 108s. They were $9, which I have never seen a quilt shop do that. They also let us go into the store and pick out from all of their fat quarters a fat quarter, and this is the one that I picked. So Also Personal really appreciates Teaquilts, me, Kevin, bringing in the quilters, and they go above and beyond for the quilters. Because last time they had a whole room that was just K facet, and it was, or K fabrics, and it was all on sale. And I couldn't believe it. It took everything I had not to go in there and say I want a yard of everything. But yeah, thank you, Kelly, for doing such a great job with the shoppers. And then, look like we got one more bag for the shop hop bus, I think. And then we're done, I'm hoping. Well, maybe not. Let me see. See another bag down here. Let's see what store this one's to. This one is Sewing Studio. So this one was the one that I really didn't even go look at any fabric. It's all Kevin's fault. I'm busy talking to people, talking to the store owner. We were talking of some business. Kevin keeps coming up showing me fabric that he's found somewhere, okay? And then he's trying to tell the people that I'm the one that did all the shopping. So I'm glad I only walked out with 3 pieces because Kevin had a whole cart full, okay? Ended up buying this plaid cape print that was in the sale room. I think in the sale room, they were $10. This was $10 in the sale room. This stripe was also $10 in the sale room, and I love that it's already on the diagonal. Studio E print, pattern number 5503. And then this purple one was only $6.99 a yard. And Kevin come up and go, wouldn't this be beautiful with some African prints? And I'm like, go away, Kevin. But he kept leaving the stuff in the basket. So I ended up getting some of what he had in the basket, but I did not get all. I'm glad I only walked out with 3 pieces. At this store, I only spent $49 at this store. So that was good. This goes with Jennifer's pattern over there. And then I've got Ma's Got a Notion in Havana, Illinois. I think this is the last bag. So this is the bag here. In the bag, she gave everybody a bag, whether you purchase something or not. And then in the bag, in the bottom, she had a pen that has her store name on it. So we have a pen, ink pen. She has a pattern that had made through Villa Rosa called Ma's Retreat Quilt. I don't know. I'm thinking it's her. Yeah, because it's got her address and everything on here. So she gave us a pattern that she had custom made with Villa Rosa. And then also one of the Ma's Got a Notion shop hop block. So, and a fat quarter was in every one. So that and the bag. That was a gift from her. So thank you to Sue who gave us that. I shopped out of her sale room because I really didn't need anything. Kim saying, now I'll never forget the $5 per yard room. Now that was fun. Yeah. So this is what I purchased. I was just trying to find something. You know, I brought a whole bus load to her. She knows who I am. And so I ended up buying this piece of fabric. I'm assuming 2 yards. The way it's folded, I'm going to say it's 2 yards. And then I also purchased 3 yards of this. Kevin found this. He was buying it. And so I ended up getting some too. It's like the gradation from this color to purple on the other side. So all the coloring in between. I'm not going to open this up too much. But yeah, so it's got all the colors in it. You can kind of see how it's switching about. I bought 3 yards of that for backing. It was $16.99 a yard. So 16. 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 . 16 They actually didn't, she didn't even charge me for this one. She just gave it to me. So I only spent with tax $55. I guess she just did that for, you know, bringing people in. I was not expecting that. So that's why I'm trying to look and make sure I give you all the right numbers. But I didn't pay for the blue according to this paper. Unless she added it on or something. I don't know. Because I don't have like my, I don't have my credit card receipt. I have to look at that. So that's it. That's the haul. I was going to do checker stuff too, but I think I'm going to wait for that because it's already 8/11. And then, like I said, some more stuff from Checker is coming in tomorrow. I've ordered Barbara Brackman's Civil War books. I only have like maybe 1 or 2 extras. So if somebody want that, let me know. I can reorder and get them here. I've ordered Millie's dresses, and I also ordered the luminary pattern. So if anybody is interested in any of that, just let me know. If you all haven't watched the retreat video, I did I was surprised when I realized at the last minute, it was like less than a week before retreat, I realized that the main 4 moderators of my group was going to be at retreat. And those people are Remo JS, Darcy, Sue, and Kevin. Those are the main people that are providing information, getting links if I need, if I'm not able to get it. And so what I did was I made them a special MVP shirt. And their shirts are all blue. I just made this in black because I didn't have any more blue. They also have the website stuff on the back. And then they also have their name on the sleeve. And as I was going around retreat, I heard some comments about, I want a shirt with my name on the sleeve and website on the back. And it was so funny. And I can't remember if it was one of them that said it or not. But those ladies were recognized. The ladies were recognized as MVP. And then Kevin also got his shirt that says the assistant. And my shirt, I don't know why my shirt is so crooked. This is a very soft. I be trying some of the new stuff, and it's so soft when I click my mic on it, it just pulls my shirt crooked. And it was so funny. And Sue says, and you made me weep. And it was so funny because, you know, it was so much going on at retreat. I was like brain dead. The heat just messed me up. And so I go pull the shirts out, and I'm trying to figure out, like, why do I have 4 shirts? Because I remember Darcy, I remember Remo, and I knew Kevin had a special shirt. And then I'm up there, it's just like this big blank, like, who is the 4th person? And I forgot about the names were on the sleeve, but I didn't have to get to that point, thank God. I happened to look up at Sue, and I go, it's Sue. So I felt really bad. So I'm sorry, Sue, that I had a brain freeze when it came to your name. But you could tell that it was for you and it wasn't just made up for you, okay? It was for you because I had everybody's personal name on their sleeve. So I just wore this shirt so that I could remind you all that I really appreciate my moderators. And I know, you know, they go through things in life. And sometimes they're not able to be there. And as busy as they are, they're always supporting the Teaquilts behind me, supporting me behind the scenes, no matter what is going on. So I just wanted them to know that I appreciate that. And yeah, but it's in the video. If you haven't watched Saturday's show and tell, just go look at that. And I will say that show and tell, because we had a power outage, it's not the normal show and tell. So don't think we haven't been doing anything at retreat. We were basically sitting a lot waiting for power to come back on. And some people had things in pieces that they couldn't show. So you didn't get to see a lot of people show and tell as well, because it wasn't in a showable state because of the time that we lost due to the power. So thank you, everybody. If you got any questions again about retreat or anything like that, feel free to ask. Also, I am in the process of making up some rules for Teaquilts. So I don't want anybody signing up for Teaquilts retreat without knowing what you're going to be getting into with the rules. If you're a person that come to retreat and you do the right thing, you won't have a problem. If you're somebody that comes and try to do things underhandedly or doing things in places where you shouldn't be doing them, you might have a problem. And so you need to know before you sign up for the next retreat. And I just was not going to take my 2 days off to handle that, just so that I can open up a retreat that I don't know the price for anyway. So I just want people to be aware that there are going to be rules and there are going to be consequences if I'm being told that you're not following those rules. I'll go and talk to you about it. And we're going to go from there. You know, you can leave voluntarily or you will be asked to leave with force. So it's going to be up to you. But I want everybody to know that when you're signing up. I already have disclaimers on the registration form, but apparently I need to put consequences on the registration form as well. So that's what I'm in the process, or I will be doing when I get time. I just decided not to take my 2 days off dealing with something that I shouldn't even have to do in the first place. So that's the second reason why Retreat 2026 has not opened. You're welcome, Sharon. Says, thank you, T, for all you do. It's much appreciated. So is Ingrid. And everyone. I've gotten some really good emails from people, and I really appreciate you all. You know, I do the best that I can with what I'm given. And again, I'm only one person. My daughter helps on driving day, but she can't help me if she's picking up people on the other days. Nobody else in my family even understands or even know what I'm doing. Kevin helps as much as he can. He had to make some runs. Jennifer is helping as much as she can. She's coordinating things that I can't do because I'm doing setup somewhere else. So, you know, it is what it is. Jennifer, Kevin, and I are the main retreat committee, and then we also add whoever is teaching. If I hire a teacher to teach, then that person also becomes part of the retreat committee for that year. So that's kind of how the retreat committee goes. 3 standard members, and sometimes we'll add a 4th depending on if we're not teaching. So that's kind of how it goes. Says, I saw the video. I can't see because of this dumb heart. Hold on before I get off of here. I'm just going to put some rubbish up here to knock it over the heart. So nice of you to give the gifts. Happy 4th of July, everybody in the States. Have a great week. That's Michelle the Quilter. Yeah, and that's the other thing I did. I did drawings for people that had donated to Retreat. Ended up being won by Deborah Holloway. It was going to be a $50 Amazon gift card. I decided that I was just going to send cash instead. So I ended up sending her $50 cash to her Zelle. She was at Retreat. I did 3 prizes for people that made pillowcases. They were in the Tula pink bags. 1 was at Retreat, 2 was not. I've mailed 1 today because they did contact me. I want to say the other one was Gesture Creative Services, but I don't have it in here, so probably need address for that. And then I did 2. Well, we have been doing drawings at Retreat for wearing Teaquilts, well, wearing the shirt of the day, because the first day is Rep Your State. So if you wore that shirt, and then if you wore Teaquilts on your shirt any other time, you got put into a drawing. We did 2 drawings earlier. And then we also, those prizes were donated by Thomasine. And then the last one, I had bags of stuff that I had purchased and put together, had 2 bags. I did 2 drawings on Saturday. So it was a lot of drawing on Saturday. We didn't show all of that on the camera. We just basically showed show and tell and the presentation of the MVP shirts that I gave out. So that's going to be it right now. I'm going to I got a couple more boxes I need to mail. Probably a couple more orders I need to mail. And then I'm going to go back on rest mode because I'm trying to rest my feet. I noticed that when I was up on them today, I did about 4 hours. And my left foot, which is the worst one, was hurting just a little, but not bad. I just don't want them to get bad. And that's the other thing. I need to make an appointment so that I can get my feet looked at, so that I can get that taken care of. So that's going to be it this time. You all stay blessed. Be safe, everyone. Quilt out. I'll see you Saturday, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, and we're just going to do a checker haul or whatever else kind of haul I have. And then we're going to get off. I doubt if I'm going to sew on Saturday. So I will see you all then. Bye.